We have Frankie K, $20 super chat. Value is innate in women. They are born with it. To attract the best mate, all they have to do is preserve it. Don't get too fat. Don't sleep around. Y'all have devalued the hell out of yourselves.
Oh, okay.
Men value fidelity and innocence.
Are you a virgin, Frankie?
Whoa. Oh my God.
No, they just like girls who freshly turn 18.
What happened to the body shaming and shit? Like,
oh, just closer
the
to
body
the
count. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is he body shaming people?
Who?
Like,
what?
Don't get too fat.
That's not body
don't
shaming. That's
around.
just
I would say
facts,
that's kind of
isn't
body
it?
shaming because, like, he's saying that.
Or no,
fatties-
slut shaming
Again,
was
it's
the
a
word.
preference.
Slut shaming.
Again, yeah, personal preference. That's what it comes down to. Guys.
Wait, I question for you, Brian. You said that's not body shaming. He's saying don't get too fat.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Yeah, what
that's
do you
not
mean that's not
body
body
shaming?
shaming?
And then that's like you just said that.
Okay, if he were to have called
that's
me a fat whore, that would be body shaming. But saying don't get fat,
But as a way
that's
to
just-
attract the
that's
best
just-
mate. That's saying that you cannot have weight on your body to attract the
how
best
dare you have
mate.
weight?
You know what I mean?
It's
like,
the reality.
He said, but that's
but
just
like, but isn't that come down
For
to the
both- but
subjective,
both-
It is a
objective?
societal beauty standard, and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Well, it's-
we bring up a good point. Society tends
Okay,
to be
forget-
fat
hold on.
phobic.
That's
Yo,
true.
You are correct, Brian.
It's
Society's
not-
fat phobic.
It's it's
They
not
are.
fat
That's true.
phobia. Hold on, let me talk. It's not fat phobia. It's not even a social construct. Being overweight on its face is unhealthy.
There are some guys who are into that.
We're not talking about that.
Oh, those
but
are
yes,
I mean,
there
we were talking about that, and
Hold
you've
on.
changed the subject.
No, but yes, okay, there are men that are attracted
comes down to personal
there's
preference.
chubby chasers, there's men who like thick women, whatever you want to call it. However, if you are too fat or overweight or obese, you are necessarily unhealthy.
But
not
see,
necessarily,
that's
especially
subjective.
depending on how you define fat.
Yeah, and see, that's subjective to the person.
Let's try to have a
Some people would say that I'm fat.
logical
And there was a minute
perspective.
when I struggled with eating disorders and I was under 100 pounds. I was dramatically underweight. And that at the time, that was the expected societal beauty standard. And now people would consider me fat. So yeah, if someone called me a fat whore, for example, that is absolutely body shaming.
Okay, but let's maybe see if
Or
we can.
Neko, for instance, is perfectly healthy. She's been to her physicals.
Oh,
you're
you would
incredibly healthy.
If I told, okay, I will give some background. I've been an athlete my entire life. My number weight is something that I have struggled with a lot. And when I went on the Fresh and Fit podcast, I did read a lot of comments, and they were all calling me a whale. I'm serious. I get called a whale. I get called Shamu. Like, I get called so many things because
I gotta
men,
deal with hate every day.
like men do think that
not
I'm
great.
fat. And guess
It
what?
sucks.
You know
It
what?
sucks a lot.
I am proud to say I'm over 200 pounds. I don't care. I'm over 200 pounds. I feel beautiful.
That's right.
I feel sexy. And my partner loves me the way I am because the weight number does not define the way, like, everyone carries weight differently on their body. You know what I mean? And yeah, ultimately what is too fat for you is going to be a personal preference, which is circling back to the point that generalizing things can hurt you.
Next question.
But let's talk about so you don't think obesity is unhealthy?
That's not what we're saying.
That's not
What?
what's the. That's.
Okay.
I don't think that
I think
was
we
the
should
case.
move on.
I think
I
we were
like
talking
obesity.
about
Question.
body shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fat phobia.
Yeah.
And to a degree, you told me that body shaming doesn't exist.
Well, you're putting words in my mouth. I never said that.
Repeat what you. I mean, I wish we
Repeat
could play it back,
what-
but
What do you think I said? You think I said body shaming doesn't exist?
No.
you said that if someone were to call you a fat whale, that would be
Fat whore.
Oh,
Get it
pardon
correct.
my verbiage.
Get it right.
If someone were to
Fat
call
whore.
you a fat whore, that would be body shaming. But
Yes.
if someone were to say that to someone who was
Don't get too fat.
200 pounds, sorry,
Oh.
excuse me, 200 pounds,
That's not what I said.
okay.
He was saying that
No.
don't
I
get
was
too
saying-
fat is not
I
considered
was
body
saying
shaming.
literally
because
what he said. Advising someone to not get too fat is not body shaming. And by the way, the body shaming movement originally was about things that were out of your control, not about weight, which is in your control.
To a degree.
Body
I
shaming had to.
hypothyroidism.
I do
But
have
you guys body shame
hypothyroidism.
guys who are short all the time.
We never said that we
Okay,
did that.
so
height
hold on,
shaming.
Bruh.
hold on. You just brought up hypothyroidism.
Hyper.
No, hyper.
Hypo.
No, hypo would be you have difficulty losing weight. I have hypothyroidism. I take.
Are you medicated?
I do. I take.
Oh, well,
That's
that's
why you
great.
don't struggle
That's
with
why
weight.
you don't have any
There
issues,
are a
though.
ton of people that are
no, even
unmedicated.
with
It
First off,
directly affects.
hold on. Let me finish. First off, thyroid medication is
It sucks.
super.
It all sucks.
Well, it's very cheap.
Just let him finish.
It's very cheap. Yeah, can you guys stop interrupting, please? Okay. So, you brought up hypothyroidism. So, one, it's treatable.
It totally
Okay,
is.
but so if you take medication, even with medication though, I struggle with my weight a little bit. So, however, if I adhere to a strict healthy diet, I can lose weight.
Sure.
And right now I'm on a diet. I ate too much over the holidays. I gained some weight. I was eating like shit. I've been eating well for the past month. I'm like down already like 7 pounds or some shit because I was eating a lot of carbs. Let me tell you that. So weight is something that's 100% in your control. You wanted to bring up hypothyroidism as an example. Most people who are overweight do not have hypothyroidism or some sort of other. By the way, I also have aside from just hypothyroidism, I have a fracture in L5S1. Literally have a broken back.
That hurts.
Yeah, so if I want to lose weight, it's hard for me to do it through
Good for you,
exercise.
for doing the
So
work.
I need to do it primarily through diet.
Totally.
So my own experience, it's not about exercise. It comes down to diet. As someone who's literally been stuck, I haven't shared this much before. I was stuck in bed for like 9 months with a broken back. Bad times. I've gotten better, but
Congratulations.
I'm
Yeah, good
basically
for you. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
That's really
Incredible.
crazy.
But what I'm trying to say is I'm like, look, I wasn't obese to begin with, but I have to rely strictly on diet to lose weight, basically.
Totally.
So weight is 100% something that's in your control. Bringing it back to body shaming. Body shaming originally was about people who had scars and things that they couldn't control, like a deformity. That's what body positivity was originally about. It wasn't about weight.
Okay. Did we
Sure,
have more
but-
of those super things to go through?
What?
I feel like we've just like talked this to death about weight.
Well, I'm gonna. This is my podcast.
I'm just
This is
saying,
my
like-
podcast. I'm gonna.
I mean, for sure.
Okay.
Well, say whatever.
Just you're not the host.
I'm
I'm
not,
gonna
no.
talk about it. I mean, I was gonna move on to the stuff. You don't need to moderate here.
I'm not moderating. I was just really getting uncomfortable with the topic.
Uncomfortable with the topic?
He was talking about his whole
No, I know,
health
I know.
journey,
I would just like to move on if that's okay.
bro.
Well, I think so. I don't know if anyone else wanted to add, but I was actually about to move on. Anyways, so we have Dr. B, 84. Most women would not sleep with most men, but most men would sleep with most women. I think I said this
Sure.
somewhat before. You disagree?
No,
I'm
we've
just-
already talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this has been
I
established.
just want to go back to this. Why is it so upsetting for you guys to hear me say that weight is something that you can control?
It's not that particularly is upsetting. It's that based on the connotations of what you're saying, I hear that people are not deserving of necessarily kindness or respect, even if they're on their journey. And it's incredible that you went through your own journey and like you struggle with weight. Oh my God, I really respect that. That's really difficult, genuinely. But I think that regardless of that, people should not be shamed for we should be able to meet people where they're at with
Okay,
respect and
so-
allow them to have that journey without calling them a whale or a fat whore.
Okay, I agree with you. I don't think
Okay.
you should be outwardly insulting or disrespectful to you.
Okay.
The issue I have with the component of the body positivity movement that relates to weight is suggesting that obesity is healthy. Now that I have to counter because it is not healthy to be overweight or to be obese. Should you be insulted for it? Absolutely not. You should be treated with respect, even if you're overweight. Me personally, if my personal take just for me, if someone was like, one of my male friends was like, yo, Brian, you're a fat piece of shit, hit the gym, I'd be like, that's motivating for me. However, me personally, I would never insult someone who is overweight, but
No, you're
It's
okay. I think I'm
being
happy to end on a
obese-
commonality there.
okay, so
Yeah,
yes,
I think we've hit a
I
commonality,
don't
and I'm fine
think
with that.
I don't think you should make fun of people or
Good.
be insulting or
Yes.
disrespectful. However, I do not buy into this feel good thing of if you're obese, healthy at any size, if you're obese, it's okay.
Okay.
You
I-
should
I
no,
just-
it's unhealthy.
I just don't want to deny the existence of body shaming. And I feel like to a degree, that's what you were doing.
Can I
Yeah.
chime in real quick?
Anyway, but truly,
Let's-
I feel like we've reached a commonality. We can cut this.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're moving on. All right, so we have Zentian. This came in as a TTS. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. The smartest man in the world, $20 super chat. Thank you, man. Economist Thomas Sowell. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but very smart guy. Debunked the wage gap in the 70s. The net economic activity gap is real, though. The average U.S. woman costs U.S. taxpayers, men, $120K more than they put into the economy over their lifetimes. Hashtag pay up. We kind of talked about that. Thank you, man. Louis Burrito, $20 super chat. By the way, sorry we're getting to these after a while here, but women make the betas wait to fake purity and ensure commitment through deceit. This type of content is saving countless men's lives. Andrew Tate is amazing. Free Top G. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of just like if she had her, she had her fun in college, 30, 40, 50 bodies, and then like the provider guy comes along and then, let's make him wait. It's just kind of like,
So cishet.
It's what?
It's a very cishet perspective. Oh, sorry. It's a very cishet perspective, I guess.
Just like the normative, you just like like cisgender would just be your gender is what you were born as, and then het is heterosexuality. So it is the social normative culture that is regarded around women and men in relationships. Yes. That's basically.
Well, the vast majority of people are heterosexual, so I mean we are talking in generalities. We can talk about
I know that's
we can talk about the nuances of non-binary dwarf dating, but I mean, like we can't.
That's fine. Yeah.
I mean,
Derek makes one super chat at $49.99. Let's agree the body count is easier to control than weight.
I could agree on that.
You're right.
Word?
We are choosing to sleep with the people we sleep with, so
Yes,
that's a very
yeah.
reasonable deduction.
I think we can all agree on that one.
body count and weight is easier to control than height. In fact, you can't even control your height.
You can get leg implants.
You can
That's
actually.
ridiculous.
I know it's
That's
so
ridiculous.
dangerous.
That's so dangerous.
No.
I don't think I'd want to be
Nobody do
Billy
that.
from
Do that.
It's
freaking,
dangerous.
what's it, Rick
It's
and Morty?
dangerous.
Oh my God. I'm not Billy.
It's dangerous. It's
Don't do
painful,
that.
and it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, please
that's,
don't do that.
That's absurd. Don't
it's
do
like,
that,
it's
guys.
it's like penile enlargement. Like, please don't do that.
Don't do
either.
that.
Don't
Guys,
use the pumps.
any short guys in the West, just get your money
Bang
up.
my line.
Just wear some
Yo,
platforms.
stop.
Wear
Can
some
you guys stop
platforms.
interrupting? Stop. Guys, if you're in the West and you're short, just get your money up, get your passport, go to Latin America, go to Asia. Just
That's
move.
facts.
Go to where you are wanted and respected. Okay. She's laughing, but
No, I think it's actually a really funny sentiment because you're right. Like, if a height is smaller in a different area, go to where you're respected.
yeah. go
I think that's. I'm not laughing at you. I think that's actually really funny.
No, yeah, go to where people value. I think it's like, yeah, go to where someone will value you. Okay.
Absolutely.
We got that one.